Hi guys, in this video we'll be discussing urban sketching. So I know now that we're in quarantine, we don't actually get to go out much. And the idea of urban sketching in its usual form doesn't make sense. But the great thing about urban sketching is that usually what would happen is that you have photo reference, that you mean that you took pictures, and you can basically recreate that feel at home. So what I'm going to show you is just kind of how I go about doing an urban sketch. Um, I took a picture of the Flower District down in Chelsea in Lower Manhattan, and I never actually got to do anything with it. So I'm using that as the basis of my sketch. As you can see now, I'm just laying in the groundwork. You don't really need a lot to do urban sketching. All you really need is a piece of paper and a pencil. One of the most important things about urban sketching is to get not necessarily the details right, but the essence right. The movement, the colors. It really is a skill that's great for beginner artists because it allows you to really take in information and then start to selectively divide what you think is important. Now, you don't have to use pen, but it is something that is commonly used for urban sketching. A lot of urban sketchers prefer to use pen rather than pencil, which is also a great way to sort of circumvent the urge to erase and to make sure that all of your lines are purposeful, that you don't make these lines or draw anything without a specific purpose. Now, watercolor is something that a lot of urban sketchers look for. If you even just do a quick Google of urban sketching, chances are a good 90% of what you see has watercolor in it. Now, obviously, I know that not everybody has access to the millions and millions of supplies that I do, but I still think it's good for you guys to see how at least one person goes about it. And it doesn't have to be watercolor. I know people who use pastels. I know people who use markers and color pencils. So you're not limited to that. But it's good for you guys to know that you don't have to just limit yourself to just pencils or pens. You can bring color into urban sketching. And it really helps you figure out what colors are important, color harmony, and other things like that. Now, the set that I'm using, you currently can't see it because of the way I filmed, but it is the Kuretake watercolor set. It's the set of 12. It's probably one of my most recommended if that is something that you're interested in and you want to go and continue and do maybe watercolor work or learn how to do watercolor. It's a very opaque watercolor in the sense that these colors are very, very strong. Another brand that I suggest is Winsor Newton and Daniel Smith. Those are the ones that I tend to use. But that's neither here nor there. If you want to use color, go for it. If you don't want to use color and just use it pencil just to learn how to use it, and that's fine. For people who really want to get into an arts program or just want to improve their overall artwork, I think urban sketching really helps with that, because it not only helps you figure out proportions, but it also helps you figure out how do things fit in a space. How, how big is something relative to something else? I know that some of you may be thinking, okay, Miss Abigail, you got tons of photographs. You take photographs all the time. You're an artist. You have access to that. Where can I find good photographs? Well, you may think that going down Google is a great resource, which it is. I would say going on a website like Unsplash, which I'll have a link to in the description, is a really good resource, because not only are these really high quality photographs taken by actual photographers, is that they're free to use and you can almost look up anything. So if you're interested in having references for cars, they have a whole section on cars, flowers, any other type of animal, people. So it really is a great resource just to look for stuff, and not only for, say, art related purposes. If you need something for a project, it's also a really good thing to look at. And those are very, very high quality pictures as well. They are not pixelated, they're not blurry, and you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your laptop or your tablet, and you are actually able to download those photos. The only thing is that if you are going to, say, post what you do and those pictures are not yours, you did not take those photos, and you do take them from Unsplash, they do have a small thing where you can say who took the photograph. So that's always important. If you're taking somebody else's photograph and you do know who it is, make sure that you cite them. If you found it on Google and you want to post it, say that you found it on Google. If you found it on Pinterest, say you found it on Pinterest. But that's all I have to say for now, and I hope to see you guys sometime in the future.